Hi, Rob. It's Steve Mangum. It was a pleasure to meet you at church today. And I'm taking a look at your website here. I think you see it on screen. Uh, right offhand, I see a couple of big issues here. First of all, your name, Heritage Landscape Dallas LLC.com. And then the first thing that you put in is Allen, Texas. So this is confusing the search engines. You have Dallas in your name, and then you start off and you say your service area is Allen, and then here's Dallas again. So when that search is looking for somebody in Allen, and then it has Dallas in the name, it's not giving you a priority because you're in Dallas, not Allen. And then the next problem is that you come down below here. Sorry for the phone interruption. And you have a Richardson address. So this is confusing the search engines completely. Right here is your Richardson address. So it doesn't know if you're in Allen or in Dallas or in Richardson. And that's a problem. If you confuse the search engines, you'll never get listed. So what I have to say about that is the website looks nice. I mean, it's pretty good looking. The information's relatively good, but you're never going to get this thing to rank on the front page or on the top three for sure in Google, because the search engine doesn't know where you're located, what area you're servicing, and where your expertise lies. So that's an issue. Usually on this front page, we recommend 1,500 words or so, and it looks like you're probably going to have around 500 to 700, so there's not enough information on this front page. Now, I did a little bit of research. When I put in Landscaping Dallas, the competition was just like too strict. So I went to Landscaping Plano, did a little keyword research, and it looks like you'll be able to compete better up there. And the number one, first of all, what you see on this front page, these are sponsored ads right here. Okay, that's a sponsor. Four Season Lawn is sponsored. And then these next three, Plano Landscaping Company, and JC Landscaping LLC. As you can tell, Plano Landscaping is in the name. That's one of the keywords that's fairly easy to rank for. And then JC Landscaping. Those describe the service area, and the number one competitor here is Plano Landscaping .com. So I go to that number one ranking, Plano Landscaping.com, and let me kind of go through what we're looking at here. This is a tool that at my level is about $450 a month, and it's real important to have really good tools. I've got about 20 tools that I use, maybe 30. So I spend a lot of money on tools. This is probably the most expensive one, but it's also one of the best, or I consider the best in the market. What this shows me, this backlink profile, the DR is called a domain rating. It's on a scale of 1 to 100. So this number one competitor, excuse me, when I look up Landscaping Plano, the number one competitor is this Plano Landscaping .com. Hold on a second here. And when I put them in my tool, see Plano Landscaping.com here, they're in the tool. They're getting 579 searches a month. And this is by a third-party source, so it's probably quite a bit more than that, because this company buys the information from Google. So that's probably an underestimation, if anything. They have 101 keywords that they're ranking for. And this DR and UR, the DR is the power of their overall website, their overall domain. That means like their whole website together, which is just a 6. And the UR is basically this page up here, which is their home page, power. So they just got a 4.8 on a 100 scale. So that's relatively weak. However, I looked up the number of pages, and they have 69 pages, I believe, on their website. So they got this huge website, a lot of content. So they have they get that #1 rating because they've shown their expertise, and they cover like 20 cities or 30 cities. Okay, so they have a huge service area. So they're very well established in terms of their content and their service area and the services that they after. It's a huge website, and it looks really good. So back to their, so they have a DR of 6 and a UR page rating of 4.8, which isn't great. And then they, referring domains. So referring domain is another website that's linked to your website. It might refer to your website. So, in other words, there may be a blog article that says, how to put in your own site or something. If you need help, call, call this company. And then that link on their website linking to yours are what these backlinks. So you'll have other websites they're linking to yours, and it may have more than one link. So that's what this is, referring domains and links. And 67 isn't that many. I've seen them in the thousands even, but that's about right for these. But these guys don't have that much power. That's why they don't have this 6 and 4.8. So that would be relatively easy to compete against. However, a lot of pages, so that pages, are expensive, but you can spread them out over months. Instead of doing it all at once, sometimes you can do blogs and stuff like that, spread out the cost of it. Okay, and here's their organic keywords. So I can go in here and actually see which keywords they're using and how much traffic they're getting off of each keyword and what page that keyword's on their website. So this tool is really, really useful. But think about if you had 579 people to your website, and say you had, a fifth of them, click through and give you a call, you'd have like 100 calls a month. Okay, and say you close, out of 100 calls, let's be conservative, say you close 10% of those, that would be 10 jobs a month extra. And I think the numbers would be greater than that, because these are buyer intent keywords. They're not just generating traffic. It's like if somebody puts in Plano landscaper, well, they're looking to hire a landscaper. They're not looking, just to get information, right? So you build your website with the right keywords, and, you got a good conversion rate on these. One last thing about these referring domains, it's not so much how many you have, it's the quality and the power and the credibility that those websites are giving to you. So you can have 1,000 and not rank, or you can have 50 or 100 and rank #1. It has to do with the power of those websites. However, I look down through here. Here's the websites that are linking to them. Okay. And a bunch of those, see those that are marked spam? Those aren't doing anything for their rating. That's why they don't have that high of a rating. But we can come in here and we can start getting some of these same people referring to your website, build your power and your credibility in doing that. Okay, here's another problem. On the map pack, which is up there at the top of that listing, it keys off of location first, like when somebody's on their mobile phone, say landscaper near me. Well, it doesn't know if you're in Plano or Richardson or Dallas. Okay, so you're not going to rate very high. But the other issue is, here is you, Heritage Landscaping and Irrigation. Well, that name and irrigation, it's not Heritage Landscaping Dallas. This is Heritage Landscaping and Irrigation. That's a different name. So Google doesn't know which one is which. They're totally confused. And until that's straightened out and it's consistent and the information backs up the name, backs up the location, et cetera, et cetera. So you need a major rebranding, and it might be better to leave the website up and just start a new brand. And then when this one dies off, go to a new brand that's easier to get exposure, because that URL, Google's very confused, and until all that's straightened out, it's not gonna go well with to get any of those searches. Okay, so back to the search again. The number 2 competitor is Expert Commercial Landscaping. You don't do commercials, so they're really not a competitor to you. They were getting like 30 searches, but 30 searches for commercial business is different than 30 searches for residential. I'm sure you'd agree. So I go to number 3 here, Plano Landscaping Company, and they're planolandscaping.net. If you'll notice the similarity in the URLs there. I look up them, and in that third position, they have a UR, like a homepage rating of 6 on 100. They got a DR of 11. This is a little bit tougher, okay? It's blue. It's an intermediate competition. The higher these go, they go exponentially harder. So, it's more than double what that other was to compete with this DR, but still not that high. And referring domains, they have 86. Let's look at their do follows. See, they have quite a few spams too that you wouldn't want to get. Okay. So we can come in here and get some of those that are power listings. So I come into that number 3 slot, and they've got about 31 pages, I think, something like that. You're sitting there like at 19 or 20-ish. I forgot what the number was. But anyway, this is a good looking website. It's got a lot more information, content in it. This is something that's brand new. This people also ask and stuff. This adds up the page count. There's going to be a page for each one of these. So bottom line, third place is getting 242 traffic, and that's minus 45. This will come back up. That has to do with last month, like in February or January even. So, it's kind of down. Coming in the spring, these are going to come back up in their search. More people are going to be searching. So that was number 2. Let's see. Hold on a second. Yeah, so just to kind of summarize it again, your first place competitor, they have 101 keywords, which means they have a lot of pages, basically. 579 searches, which is a conservative number. The third place, your second place competitors getting DR11, UR6. They're getting 242 searches a month. And here's your comparable. You got a DR 2.6, UR 4.5, but you're not getting any organic searches, and you don't have any keywords in the top 100 search. And then when I go to your referring domains, the reason this is so low, these two are so low, reason that's so low, no keywords, the reason this is so low is not enough referring domains. I go to 34 and then do the do follow. You're down to 14, and look how many of those are spam. You have like 3 really good links here. So, I don't like to slam the competition, but whoever put it together did not put it together for SEO. And if you'd like to call me, you can give me a call. We can set a time to go in deeper. I could take a little bit deeper look, and we can sit down. I need to learn your business better to see what your competitive advantage and stuff like that is. So if you want to talk about it, give me a call. We'll set up a time to get together. Appreciate the opportunity to kind of lay this out for you. And I'd love to hear your feedback one way or another. So give me a call.